Hello, Assalamu alaikum. All of you can hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Maha, Maita, Musna, Mozam. There is few more, right? Aisha, actually Aisha, Yusuf al-Nakbi, Maita, Mozun. There is some procedure we followed here, like if suppose Aisha, I don't know Aisha from which section, I don't know what's your ID number, because I need to pass this information to the concerned section, I mean concerned instructor. So that is the reason, even though if you write only Aisha, there are two Aishas possible in your class. So that's the reason we said like Asma 62. It means that Asma, whatever be her name, but we understand she's from section 62 and the last four digits of her ID number is 8600. So easy for us to take the attendance. So that's the reason we encourage you to use this format. Musna Al-Shamsi 6590, it's very good. So something like that, it doesn't matter, arrows and sorry, the hyphen or whatever, but at least I can understand that Musna is from section 65. Her last four digits is 9577. Something like that we want you to be logged in, okay? Yeah, we will start exactly at 10. By the time, it is better you rename your ID and join it. Maita Al-Shukri. She's from section 61. Mozan also, but we don't know what's her last four digits. Mozan? Nada? All of you join in the right format. I think Mozan just logged in and she left. Anyway, those who are not not active, I will just note it down. Yeah, but you please enter your ID number too. Mohsen from which section? Yeah, very good, Nada. ഇവിടെ എൻ്റെ മൊബൈൽ എന്തൊരു Okay, let's start. I think some of them are still joining, right? Okay. Okay, everybody know that our today's experiment is about Kirchhoff's rule, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, you know, I just found one. This is one of the slide, you know, we just used to just explain this very quickly. I mean, there is nothing. I will just quickly explain you, okay? But if everybody is ready, we can start, right? You can see the slide, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is our today's experiment? Kirchhoff's rule. If someone can explain me about what is Kirchhoff's rule? Why we are using Kirchhoff's rule and what is Kirchhoff's rule? I mean, sometimes, you know, people are, you know, it's a name of a, you know, German scientist. I don't know how to pronounce. It depends on anyone, you know, because some of them will say Kirchhoff, some of them will Kirchhoffs. I mean, so many ways people are pronouncing it. So no matter, just to understand the spelling, okay? Anyway, let me call it Kirchhoff's or Kirchhoff's. Okay, Kirchhoff's, okay, Kirchhoff's rule. Okay, is anybody is there to explain Kirchhoff's rule? Because it is very, very basic, like Ohm's law, why we use Kirchhoff's rule, or what is the importance of this. Is there anyone to explain to all of us, please? I encourage just to be an active one in the group. Okay, Musna, please tell me.
I think for explain the complicated
Musna, your voice stop. It is not for complicated. I mean, there are so many analysis you will learn in future. I mean, definitely in engineering, but this is again a very basic one, like you know, Ohm's law, but a little because with Ohm's law we cannot able to solve every you know, circuit that we decide. Like with Ohm's law, maybe you can easily you know, you can easily solve circuits like simple circuits, but still, you know, sometimes like simple circuit means like if you have branches and if you have branches and different if you have multiple branches and multiple sources, you know, your Ohm's law is not able to solve such situations. We will use, you know, Kirchhoff's rules. In fact, what does it mean? I said solving. I mean, what does it mean? Anyway, I will explain everything back after just going through the slides quickly. Then, you know, I will use another sheet of paper to explain everything. Okay, just quickly I will go through this for 1 minute seeing. Okay, look, what is Kirchhoff's rule? Basically, there are two main rules. One is we called point rule, and the another one we called loop rule or voltage rule. There are two things. I think it's better to, yeah, I will show this quickly, then we will write and discuss about that, okay? This is a, you know, there are two rules. One is point rule. The point rule is also known as junction rule, current rule. So many ways we call. What is the first rule I call? Point rule. I can also call it junction rule or current rule. Next rule is loop rule, or we call it voltage rule. There are two rules. One is about the point or a junction or about current. The next one is about voltage. It's in the loop. Okay, so it's called loop rule. And in short, There are ways in which resistors can be connected so that the circuit formed cannot be reduced to a single equivalent resistor. Two rules called Kirchhoff's rules can be used instead. In this picture, you look here, these two pictures, you see we cannot reduce these resistors we connected into an equivalent one because of the multiple branch and source. In this situation, we cannot use Ohm's law to solve this circuit. Such situations, we need to use Kirchhoff's rules to solve the circuit. To solve the circuit means, I mean, like if I know about the circuit means, I suppose know what is the current passing through this resistor, what is the voltage across this resistor. I mean, that is what we called a solving a circuit. That means we suppose know about its current and voltage, each component. Then we can say we solve the circuit. Now to solve, we will use these rules. What are the two rules we are going to use? Yes, that's what I'm going to show you. First rule I said junction rule or current rule. It is a very simple rule. The total current entering into a junction is equal to the total current leaving a junction. Current in equal to current out. If you see this junction, you can see that there are four currents are coming, C, A, B, D. From this resistor, a current C is coming. From this branch, a current A is coming. From this branch, a current B is coming. So we call this in current in, and these two are current out. So current in, the sum of current in, that means if I call C is C1 or I1, this is I2, this is I3, this is I4, then I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4 is equal to, if I call this I6 and I7 equal to I6 plus I7. I'll explain you that in a while, don't worry. Just again, what is this? The next rule, the loop rule. The loop rule says in a loop, the total voltage of each component, if you add, it will be equal to 0. I will explain you that in a while. Okay. So these are the two rules we are going to discuss today. Then some loop rule, when you're considering the loop, some polarity consideration and all we need to discuss. And very simple. And this is the circuit that we are going to deal today. And I have two resistors and two power sources and three resistance connected, and we are going to solve this circuit today in three ways. One, I will show you one of the circuit we established in our lab. I will show you the picture because unfortunately you are not there. So I will show you how did we connect that. Then I will solve that using the setups that we have in the lab. Plus, I'm going to solve it mathematically because if I know the rules like Ohm's law or Kirchhoff's rule, I can able to solve this mathematically or analytically. Plus, I will show you how to solve, using multi-sim. Today, we are going to use one of the, software, which is like a simulation software. It is very important. You can build a circuit, you can study circuit virtually or by using simulation. Today you will install that, or you will take an account online because every student can take an account online, and we will do this analysis, or we will build the circuit using the online source. Then we will do analysis. We will compare our values from our calculation, from our lab, from our simulation. All the three readings we are going to compare. Ultimate goal is to understand Kirchhoff's law in all perspective. So that's what I am going to do today. So everybody understand what we are going to do today. Then we will discuss everything in details. Now I'm going to ask all the 19 participants what we are going to do. Aisha, Ala, Al-Shamsia, Asma, Ayman, Hura, Maha, Mahra Ali, Maita, Mariam, Mozun, Musna, Nada, Anud, Sheikha, Shema, Varda. All of you listen to me or not? Please type everybody if whatever I
You're listening.
okay. So everybody understand what we are going to do. Is it okay? Let me start now explaining this. Okay, perfect. So what is my first plan? And we are going to do the analytical approach. Okay, after that, analytical approach means, before we are going to do the Kirchhoff's law, you suppose know how to solve this mathematically, or what is this. If you know about Kirchhoff's rules and the components, how to solve, then we will do for a practical approach. Is it okay? First, I am going to solve it like using a pure theoretical way. Then that means after I solve this using pure theoretical way, I mean understanding the concept. After that, if I go and do the experiment using our real setup, I mean I will show you the picture that we have. Then we will follow the circuit. Then the readings that we collected from there, we will do a little analysis. After that, I will go to the simulation. So 3 parts we are going to do. And at the end, we will go through the questions and we will do some analysis with our current circuit. Okay, everybody, if everybody is okay, type okay. Let me show you the rest then. Type. Let me see how many okay coming. Because I will be, I'm looking for those who are active here. Then I can see who is not active. From there, I'm going to make a report. That's the reason I want everybody to be present and very active, because this is we are doing for you. Okay. And if you listen to me, definitely I guarantee you all will understand the stuff. Okay. Now, I'm going to build this circuit in a Word document. I'm just sharing a Word document, opening a Word. Okay. You can see now that I'm going to share that. Okay, in a second. Share application window. Okay. Everybody can see this Word file, right? Okay. Now I'm going to draw our circuit. First of all, I'm going to draw our circuit. I mean, this is the circuit you have in your manual. Okay. Here I have a battery and a resistor. Actually, this battery I'm going to call it E1, and today I'm going to connect 5 volt across this. And this is a resistor I'm going to call R1, and it is equal to 10 ohm. Okay, now the circuit is like that. At this junction, I'm going to bring another source, and also a resistor is connected along with this, and this junction is connected. And this is we call R2, and it is a 5 ohm resistor. Okay. Now from this other end, I have another resistor. You see this circuit, right? Another resistor, and this is a 20 ohm. Today I'm going to call it R3. And all these are just connected together. Now we have a complete circuit. We call it a circuit now because circuit means there is a continuity. That means if something start, they can. Now it's a circuit. There will be a flow of current. And of course, whenever we have such a situation, in order to solve, okay, I will call this source E2, and this is 3 volt. You may notice that today this is for the revision section or the makeup section. I just change the values. Okay, the resistors are all same. So this is for the makeup students. Everybody know that we use 3 voltage here and 5 voltage here. So this is a different circuit than any other students who did the lab in the university. So don't try to cheat your instructor, because the instructor knows that I use these voltages today. They will easily catch you. Okay, so your all calculations based on 5 voltage, 3 voltage, and these resistance. Is it clear, everybody? So this is our circuit. This is our circuit. Okay, now, okay, in this circuit, I mean, I'm going to teach you the first rule. That means current rule. Current rule means, you know, that the current entering. Okay, usually in order to solve a circuit, we need to arbitrarily fix the directions. Imagine if somebody who has experience in a electric circuit, they know that always current flow from higher potential to lower potential. So this is the higher potential plus. So ultimately you will think that the current is coming from here. So by choice you choose this is the direction of current, and you name this because this is a resistor R1. So you name this the current entering and passing through this resistor. That means the current is start to, or the current start to flow from here. That means it reach here. So this is at a higher potential, this is at a lower potential. That's why the current always flowing from this to this. And that means there is a current flowing through this. We call this current I1. Why I call it I1? Because this is R1. So just for the sake of naming, I call it I1. Okay, now this current I1, and here again, you may be noticed that this is a 10, this current has two paths to go. When it comes here, you may be noticed that there is two junction. One is this junction, one is this junction. But if you look here, you feel that this is a high resistor. So there is a chance for this current to flow through this, but still this is a 3 voltage source, and there is a current, there's a chance for a current to come through this. But still this is a 20 ohm resistor. So I am going to fix arbitrarily this current will go mostly through this direction than this direction. So I just arbitrarily, it is up to you. So I just arbitrarily fix the direction. This is the current I1, and this current split here to 2 I2, and this one is I3. So there is a current I1 coming, and it is going to split and flow. Imagine after I do the calculation, if I get I2 is a negative quantity, like a negative 1, 2, 3 ampere. What does it indicate? It indicates that the direction you fix is wrong, because the current is coming this direction. That means when I do the calculation, when I measure I2, if I see that it's a negative value, means the direction I fix is wrong. Imagine if I measure I2 and it is a plus value, means, oh, it indicates that your direction is correct. So today, when we calculate the current, the direction will indicate us the negative sign or the positive sign indicates that whether our direction is correct or not. So no worries when you imagine. Some students think, sir, oh, I am going to fix this is I2's direction. Then if she solved the circuit and finally she did the calculations or measure this, she'd get a negative value. If she get a negative value, means indicating that this direction she fixes wrong. So that's why we don't bother whether it is a negative or a positive. Okay, because from that we can understand that which one is correct, right? So I'm going to go with this fixed direction. Now if I call this junction B, the current from this I3 is passing through the resistor R3. So if I ask you to what is the voltage across V3, the voltage across V3 is, because you see the current I3, now this is flowing this direction. That means this junction is at a higher potential. That's why the current flowing here, and this reach here, and this is still I3. Now this current I2 is coming all the way here. So at this junction, these two currents are entering. What are the two currents entering this junction? If I call it A, the current entering the junctions are I2 and I3. Then it leaves from this junction, I call it I1. So in fact, you look at this, I1 is through all this upper part, and through the middle branch, I2 is the current, and the lower branch, I3 is the current. And of course, by Ohm's law, if I ask you what is V3, V3 means voltage across R3. So it is I3 R3. If I know I3, then I know the value of R3. So it is 20 times I3 is V3, right? So if I wanted to know, if I wanted to solve this circuit, just in this circuit, if I can calculate I1, I2, and I3, means I'm solved the circuit, because the known values of resistance, if I plug the values of current, I will be able to solve V3, V2, and V1. What is V1? It is I1 times R1. So it is I1 times 10. So 10 I1 is actually V1. Same way, this is 5 I2 is V3. So all this in voltage, right? So today, if I am asking you to solve this circuit, means if you can solve I1, I2, actually, what is I1 according to the point rule? I1 is equal to I2 plus I3, or we can say that according to the current rule, the total current entering a junction, sigma I in equal to sigma I out. Or in another way, I can write summation of I in minus I out will be equal to 0. So that means from this rule, I1 minus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. That means sigma I is 0. So we call this current rule, or we call it point rule, or we call it junction rule, and so many ways we call it, but just sometimes we call Kirchhoff's first rule or point rule or current rule. In fact, everybody understand what is Kirchhoff's point rule? The summation of current in a junction is equal to 0. That means current in equal to current out. So you can see it in junction A. In junction A, what is junction A? What are the two currents entering? I2 plus I3 equal to I1. That is the same thing, this, right? Or if you take everything in one side, I1 minus I2 minus I3 equal to 0. So this is junction rule. Now, what is our next rule? What is our next rule? Come on, tell me. Loop rule or voltage rule? Loop rule or voltage rule? Loop. Actually, look here. Here, if I look into this circuit, I can see there are many loops here. Loop means, you look here, if my circuit, okay, if I call this A and if I call this B, I can come to A. If I start from A and I can reach to A. So this is a loop. So if I travel from this and I can come back to, this is loop 1, or sometimes we call the upper loop. And another loop, if I start from A this way and I can reach to A. This is we call the bottom or lower loop. And also I have another loop here. If I start from A and I can reach A. So this is another loop. So here in this circuit, I can have 3 loops, right? Upper loop, if I start from A to A from this direction, that is upper loop, or this lower loop, or this main, a loop. Actually today, in our experiment, I'm going to only deal with the 2 loops. One is the upper loop and one is the bottom loop. If I travel from the upper loop, usually it is a thumb of rule that we always travel, in order to avoid confusions, we always travel, this way. This means a clockwise motion. So if I start from A to A, I need to encounter here 4 elements. First element is the source E1, and the second element is source E1, first element. Second element is this resistor R1. Third element is resistor R2, and the fourth element is voltage E2. So all these voltages, according to the rule, the total voltage in a loop, the sigma V equal to 0. That means if I add the voltage of E1, plus voltage of R1, voltage across R1 plus voltage across R2 plus voltage across E2, it's supposed to be equal to 0 according to the loop rule. But here is the point. If I add, let me write the voltage rule. According to that, the voltage rule, first element I am encountering E1, right? That E1, but I don't know whether E1 is plus or minus. Plus another voltage. What is voltage across R1? We call it V1, right? We don't know whether it is plus or minus. Plus the voltage across R2. Is it plus or minus? We don't know. I call it V2 plus the voltage across, the voltage E2, the source E2. We don't know whether it is a positive potential. If you add all these voltages, the total voltage must be 0. Now the rule I am going to teach you, how will you decide Is it plus or minus? I mean, usually we are going to consider this way. Imagine you think this way. If you are coming from a, imagine you are traveling from this point to this. I mean, this we call a higher potential because this is at a higher level. Like you imagine it's a hill. This is the downhill, right? I mean, the bottom of the hill. Imagine if you are traveling from higher point to lower point, what will happen to your energy? Because if you are at a higher point, your energy is, you have a positive energy. When you come down, you lose the energy. So you will have a less or decrease in energy, right? You will have a decrease in energy. So that means if someone travel from plus to minus point, we will see that he has a negative loss of energy. Or if someone is traveling from a negative point to higher point, from a lower to higher point, what he is gaining? He gain energy, so we call it as a positive energy. So it's a rule of thumb, because you don't need to worry, because we arbitrarily keep one type in order to avoid, double rules in one circuit. So always better to keep one rule like this in your mind. So what is our rule for today? When we going from a lower to higher, you know that you are gaining energy, so you will say you have a plus voltage. Or if you are coming from plus to minus, what is going to happen? You are losing energy, so you will say you have a negative potential. So let's look here. Now I am going to solve this circuit. For that, I will draw the circuit once again. But while I am drawing the circuit, please be with me. Okay, first of all, look at this. This is my point A. From now, I have a negative potential. So from negative to positive. So what I will get? I will get a positive energy, right? Now I am moving here, and this is the resistor. And you know that this is the plus, this is the minus, because from higher to lower current is flowing. So this is the current direction I1. So you know that it is from higher to lower. This voltage V2, it is this voltage V1, it is I1 R1. Will it be positive or negative? Yes, it is negative. Now at this junction, you split this and you arbitrarily fix the current direction is this. So this is I2, and you notice that there is a resistor here. So that means we know that that means this is plus and this is minus. So you are going a negative direction. So still you are losing energy. So will it be a positive or negative in this connection? Again, it is negative. And now you are reaching to the positive of the battery, and now here. So this is my loop A, or first loop. In the loop 1, if I write the equation, please, can you cooperate with me to write the equation? So let us write. Who will talk to me? Please, one of you open your mic and tell me. What is the loop rule? Loop rule is net voltage is 0. So let me write it. What? E1? Is it plus E1 or minus E1? I'm traveling from negative to positive. I'm gaining. Come on, one of you open your mic. Yes. So it is plus E1. Yes. Next. Is it minus V2 or plus V2? Yes. Because I am traveling from
It's a
positive to
plus.
negative. Is it positive or negative? I'm traveling from higher potential to lower potential. I'm traveling from higher to lower. Is it negative or positive? It is
Negative.
negative. Yeah. So it is negative V1. Now I am traveling from higher to lower. Negative V2. Now I am traveling from higher to lower. Negative E2 equal to 0. So this is my first relation based on the loop rule. What is my first relation based on the current rule? Let me write it here. You remember that this is I1. So we write that rule. I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. So this is my first rule. This is my second relation. Now I can write one more relation in the bottom loop. Let's complete the bottom loop. You remember that this current is we called I3, and this current is now passing through the resistor R3, and we know now this is higher potential, this is lower potential. And if I am going to look the loop which is starting from this direction and come back to this direction, So let's move through that way now for the loop 2. So I'm going to write for the loop 2. What is the rule? Let us write now, everybody. Be with me, please. Tell me. This is negative to positive. Is it gain, or if you are going from negative to positive, will it be plus or minus? It's plus. So it is E2. So plus E2 from negative to positive. I am moving this direction. Negative to positive. Yes, plus V2. I am coming through this. Plus 2 minus negative V3 equal to 0. So I have two circuits. Actually, I get three equations. And here, if I know these three equations, and if I know little mathematics, like a school mathematics, I can solve now. So let us solve now I1 and I2, I1, I2 and I3 from these three basic equations. So look at this first equation, E1. Let me write it here. E1 minus, but I know E1. What is E1? E1 is 5 volt. What is E2? E1 is 5 volt. What is E2? What is E2? What is E2? Yeah, 3 volt. So I can write now this relation. 5 minus V1 minus V2 minus 3 equal to 0. So you are going to get an equation. What is that equation? Let me write that equation. Everybody tell me. 5 minus 3. What is 5 minus 3? 5 minus 3 is 2. So 2 minus V1 minus V2 equal to 0. So if I take V1 plus V2 right side, V1 plus V2 equal to 2. Right? Next. Here I get another equation. What is this? This is 3 volt. So V2 minus V3 equal to, so what I will get from this relation? 3 plus V2 minus V3. So from this equation, I will get V2 minus V3 equal to minus 3. Right? Now, I know V1 is, come on everybody, V1 is I1 R1. V2 is I2 R2. V3 is I3 R3. So everybody know that R1 is, in our case, we kept R1 is 10 ohm, R2 is 5 ohm, and R3 is 20 ohm. So let's rewrite this relation now quickly. What is our relation now? Instead of V1, what I can write? I1 R1, but I1 is 10. So this is 10 I1. This is 5 I2. This is 20 I3. So I'm going to rewrite this relation. Please quickly. V1 plus V2. Instead of V1 plus V2, I can write 10 I1 plus 5 I2 equal to 2. Next relation. 5 I2 minus 20 I3 equal to minus 3. Actually, here if you look into this solution, you will see that three unknowns. So these three unknowns, if you are trying to solve using a mathematical elimination method, you will be end up with a zero answer. So I'm going to use this known value of I1, because I1 is, everybody know that I1 is equal to I2 plus I3 from the loop rule, sorry, from the current rule. So instead of I1, if I use this, I can kill I1, right? So I'm going to substitute instead of I1, instead of I1, what I am going to substitute? 10 into I2 plus I3. So this equation becomes now, please tell me, 10 I2 plus 10 I3. Can I rewrite equation 1? 10, come on, tell me. 10 I2 plus 10 I3 plus 5 I2 equal to 2. So what is 10 I2 plus 5 I2? So this equation now becomes 15 I2 plus 10 I3 equal to 2. So let me write that equation again here. It's a very simple actually. Equation number 2 I am writing once again. 10 5 I2 minus 20 I3 equal to minus 3. Next equation 15 I2 minus 10 plus 10 I3 equal to 2. Now how to solve this relation? You can easily solve by multiplying. Which one? Two ways. One, if you multiply equation number this with 3, this will be 15 I2. Or if you multiply the below equation with 2, it becomes 20 I3. This 2 when add, you will cancel it. Which one you want? Anyways, you can solve. Can I use the second method or first method? Okay, I will use the second, or I will use the first equation. I mean, the first equation I am going to, okay, first equation I am going to multiply with 3. So I'm going to multiply the first equation with 3. So what will happen? 15 I2 minus 60 I3 equal to minus 9. Now I am going to substitute. I'm going to subtract equation number this minus this. If I subtract 15 minus 15, 0. 10 minus minus 60, 70 IT. 70 I3 equal to 2 minus minus 9, 11. So I3 is 11 divided by 70. So how much is your answer? All of you please solve it with your own method, just to solve. I will give you 1 minute for all of you to solve. What is I3? Please tell me. I3 is 11 divided by 70. What you are getting? 0.157. All of you please solve now I1, I2 and everything. 0.157 ampere. Now, if you know I3, you can substitute in any of the equation. You will get I2. So solve for I2. Then you will substitute in this equation. You will get I1. Tell me. I'm waiting. Substitute in equation number. Again, any of this equation. Maybe the simple equation you can use. Okay, I will use this equation again. The equation now first. What I am going to use? The same rule. Not same rule. I'm just substituting. Okay. What I'm going to substitute? Instead of I3, I can write 5I2 minus 20 into 11 by 70. Better, because no need to round it. 11 by 70 equal to minus 3. So from this, 5I2 is minus 3 plus 220 divided by 70. So what is I2? I2 is the whole divided by 5. What you are getting? All of you substitute and tell me. Minus 3 plus 0.0285. Write everything. 0.02857. So 0.02857 amperes. Now we can calculate I1. What is I1? I1 is I2 plus I3. So what is I2? 0.02857 plus 0.157 equal to 0.1855. So actually, now we solved the circuit, right? Now we solved the circuit. How do you know that you solved the circuit? Because you know now I1 is how much? 0.1855. Actually, when we calculate, we get I1 plus. That means the direction we fix is correct. What we get I2? 0.02857. It is still positive. So that means the direction we arbitrarily fix is correct. What is I3? 0.157 ampere. And of course, it will be satisfying the rules that we used, because we solved this and we substituted, we solved this and we found this. Now, of course, now you know what is V1 and V2 and V3, because you already know I1. So what is V1? V1 is I1 R1. So I1 is this. So I1 R1. So what is I1? This into R1. R1 is, you just multiply this into 10. So you will get V1. What is V1 then? It is 1.855. Correct? What is V2? You multiply this with 5. So you get, tell me what you will get. 0.02857 times 5. So you solve, yeah, that voltage is 0.1428. And finally V3. What is that? You are going to multiply 0.157 into 20. Actually, you theoretically solve this. I mean, you know now the voltage V1 and V2 and V3 will be this only from the circuit. Actually, if someone give you this circuit, now you are able to solve everything in the circuit. You know I1, you know I2, you know I3, you know V1, V2, V3, everything you calculated only by using Kirchhoff's rules. So this is the theory part of this experiment. Actually, if you know the theory part, then only the point of doing the experimental part. And today, being a virtual lab, you know, you don't have anything to do. Only you need to understand the concept. And for that, I'm going to share you now a picture that we collected in the lab. You know, the picture that we established in the lab. Okay, a picture that we, you know, I'm going to share you now in a second. Okay. Just a second. Okay, now everybody please have a review in this. Quickly read it and look at the equation. We will write if it one more time if it necessary. Please read it. I encourage everybody to read, please. It's for you. Look into the circuit. If you want, we can write the circuit equation one more time with you. Then we will do the analysis. Okay. Are you ready? Can we write the equation one more time? If you want, I can show you the equation one more time. Then we are done with the experiment. Then the experimental part is going to be very, very easy. Only 1 minute job. Okay. This is that. Okay. Now, this is the circuit. I'm going to redraw it. Okay. Please, we will write the equation. I need one of you to talk, or all of you need to talk along with me. Okay. Okay. One more time. So this is the battery. You understand that this is negative. So, and we are planning to travel from A to B, right? So this is the resistor and we come to the junction. And at this junction, we notice that the current is, we decided the current is flowing this direction. That means this is plus, this is minus. We know that this is plus, this is minus. We know that if you are moving from negative to positive, this will be plus. If you are moving from plus to minus, this will be negative voltage, right? Okay, now let's come back here. Then we have I2. Then I2 is coming to a battery, and that battery is we call E2. Now we have another resistor. We call it R3, and then we are back. Now I am going to write the current rule. To write the current rule, you understand that we decide that this is I1. We decide that this is I2. The name is because I2 because this is R3. So R2, and this is we call it R3 because it is then we call it I3. Okay, then we call this E2, and we decide E2 is 3 volt, and E1 we decide E1 is 5 volt. We are going to connect like this, and we solved that way. Now look at this. Let's write the current rule. What is the current rule? I1 equal to current. I1 is coming. What are the two things going in this junction? I2 and I1 is equal to the sum of current leaving. So equation number 1. What's the next rule? In order to travel from A to B in the clockwise direction, so look at this. Okay, I am start from here, then I reach here. I'm traveling from negative to positive, so it will be a plus E1. Now I am traveling from plus to minus. I'm traveling from plus to minus, so it will be a minus. We call this V1 because it is R1, so minus V1. Okay, now I am traveling from plus to minus because current direction is this. So minus V2, and traveling from plus to minus, minus E2. Total is equal to 0. This is what we called loop, first loop. Now, or the upper loop. Can we write the equation for the lower loop now, everybody? Yes, I'm starting from here. My traveling is now from this point to here. So this is, I'm traveling from a negative to positive. I have a plus E2. Now I am traveling from a negative to positive, plus V2. I am traveling from plus to minus. So plus to my, oh, negative V3 equal to 0. Actually, in the past, in the last line or last part, I just explained this. Then I just simply use the mathematics, the just substitution and method to solve I1, I2, and I3. If somebody knows this physics, then the rest is simple maths, 7th grade maths to solve a circuit. I'm sure everybody understand this, right? Now let's move to the circuit part. Okay, now, yeah, now I'm going to show you the circuit, that we established in the lab, the circuit that we connected in the lab. You know, those students who attend the lab, they made this circuit, very simple circuit. I will show you. In a second, I will take the picture because I took a picture in the lab. I'm going to insert that picture here, then we will draw the circuit. I mean, you will be able to make the circuit. If I show you the circuit picture, then you could make it very easily. What do you see? You can see the picture? Yes or no? Yeah, sometimes this will be little, you know. No worries. I think, can you speak to me? I can't see because something has happened in my, somebody please speak. Okay. Now, because my system hanged. This is always. All of you can hear me? Sorry, I'm back. Actually, you can hear me? The sound is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because this is repeatedly happening. I don't know. Okay, now I'm sharing a screen. Wait a second. Share a byte. No. Share application screen. Okay. Okay. Don't worry. Now, you can see the white Excel file, right? I'm pasting here. Picture. Look at this picture. I will reduce the size. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay. Now, I will just show you what we have here in this lab. Okay. So this is the source. Most of you know that this is the plus of the source, and this is the minus of the source. Here I have another source. Here also there is a plus and minus. There are two sources. This is I called E2. The top one is I call E1, and I am going to put 5 voltage here. How much I am going to put here? 3 voltage. So you see our source we use in the lab. Everybody see the source? You know this equipment because you already watched this and you did in the lab, right? So all of you see the voltage 5 and 3. Yeah, this is my source E1 and it is 5 voltage. This is my source E2, just to bottom of that. Now, look at this. This is my plus and this is my minus of 5 voltage. From the plus of the 5 voltage, I'm connecting to a resistor, and you can see the value of the resistance here. It is 10 ohm. Here you can see this is 5 ohm. Here you can see this is 20 ohm. So here I don't know, the print is somewhere here. So this is a 10 ohm resistor. Now look, I connect a wire to the 10 ohm resistor, and from the other part, now the circuit diagram is like this, you see. So this is a 10 ohm. Now to the another part, wire I connect here to the 5 ohm resistor. Then from this 5 ohm resistor, this is connected to the positive of the battery. Now from this we connect, this is a positive, right? Then this we connect to the negative, right? The positive, the other end is negative. Anyway, now look at this. From this resistor end, we connect this to a 20 ohm battery. From this, 20 ohm resistor, from the 20 ohm, this is go to the negative. And these two negatives are connected together. In fact, if you look into the circuit, you will be able to make it. This is a negative of the, because this negative is this, you see. And the two negatives are connected together in this picture, you see. I mean, no worries about to understanding this. This is our circuit, right? It is in fact, you will be able to build the circuit while you are in the lab. Then what you will do, then you will use a voltmeter to measure the, we have a voltage sensor here. What is this? This is the voltage sensor. So you will bring the positive side, because the voltage sensor has two knobs. One is plus rod knob and the second is negative knob. You keep the plus knob here on the plus side and the negative knob on the negative side, then the digital display will represent that voltage. Maybe this or whatever be the voltage it will read. So if you want to measure the voltage here, you will bring it here and measure. If you want to measure the current through this circuit, you will break this and you will keep an ammeter here. You cut this wire or you remove this wire and you will put another wire and keep an ammeter here. So you will measure. Actually, this lab, the practical part is very, very simple. You're actually not doing anything. You just build the circuit. You just connect the circuit in the lab, like this connection. While we demonstrate the connection, most of the students, they understand how to connect. They just bring the wire and connect. While connecting the circuit, they use the circuit diagram in front of them. With this circuit diagram, they take the battery's plus side. Okay, then they take a wire. Then they understand that this is the plus of the battery. Okay, from the plus of the battery, what they're supposed to connect? Yeah, they need to connect to the, this is the resistor. They connect the wire here. Then from this wire, they will take another wire, and where it is going to connect, we have another resistor here. So they will bring the wire and connect it here. Then from this resistor, they are going to connect to the another positive, because the source is there, another positive. And from the negative, okay, or if you travel along with this, if you have another resistor here, we call R3, from here, you are taking a wire and connecting here. Now, from this, they are going to connect it to the negative of both the battery. Or these two negatives you can connect. Now, you see, the circuit connection is established. It's a complete circuit. Everything is connected. Usually students do this connection. They don't take any minutes to make the circuit. So I just showed you the picture. Is it clear, everybody? How many wire connections are there? Then if you want to measure the voltage, you know, we have a voltage probe. From the voltage probe, there are two wires is coming. One is a plus wire, and if you want to measure the voltage, you imagine this is the plus side and this is the minus side, because we said the current is flowing this direction. So you will bring the plus here and you will take the wire negative here. Then this voltmeter will read the voltage. So this is the way we measure the voltage. Now I'm going to share you the voltage that we collected in the lab, the voltage and the current that we measured in the lab, and with this we are going to do the analysis. Is everybody ready? If everybody is ready, type the S button. You understand everything that I explained? Hello, boys. Sure?
And
Yeah. Now, see, I'm sharing a screen. Yeah, now I am sharing a screen. You can see this. Just to share another application. I'm sharing this. Okay, everybody. Yeah, I encourage everybody to take the screenshot of this when I showed you. Okay, look at this. This is the current that I measured. And this is the circuit. All of you can see this. Please take a screenshot. I mean, when I type, not now, let just a second, I will ask you to take the screenshot. Not now, 1 second I will give you. You need to have a screenshot along with you while you are submitting the report, okay? And first of all, I will write here, this is the makeup section, okay, makeup. 27th Feb. Okay, what is this? I have this circuit. You can see the circuit, right? I have this circuit, exactly the same circuit, and I am measuring the current I1, and you know that this is I2, this is I3, and I use three sensors and directly measure the current I1, current I2, current I3. According to the rule, I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. Check. Or I1 minus I2 minus I3. Is it equal to 0? Check. What is I1? 0.167 minus 0.20, 0.020 minus 0.147. Is it equal to 0? Yes. So if you look into the first, if you look into your report, we were asking you to solve this. Can you please open your report? Or wait, I will open it after a while. So this is the first question we are asking. Now I encourage everybody to take a screenshot of this. This is the data you will insert in your report. One of the thing you are going to insert. Everybody have this with you now? If everybody take the screenshot, type S. I'm going to see how many S is coming. S, 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 everybody type S, 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 S. So this is the current one. And we check the relation, right? Now I'm going to show you the voltage one. Okay, according to the voltage, you look here, please take the screenshot, not now, I will tell you when. Look at this, you can see that the E1, the output voltage is how much? So E1 is 5 volt. And what is E2? In the source, I set E2 is 3 volt. Now, you know, I have V1, V2, V3. Let me recheck the things that we learned. What we learned in the circuit. Can I write the circuit once again? Let's complete then the analysis. You remember our circuit. In that circuit, let's look into the upper loop. In the upper loop, okay, let's write from A to A. This is negative, positive. This is positive, negative, positive, negative. Okay. So what is the rule? E1 is positive, E1 minus V1 minus V2 minus E3 is as per the rule 0. Let's check. What is E1? 5 minus V1. What is V1? Come on, tell me. Minus V1, 1.821 minus 0.134 minus 3. Minus V is 3. Minus 3 is equal to what? Approximately what? Because this is V3, we will use it for the middle bottom loop. Okay, yeah, is equal to what? 0, almost 0, 0.045. So actually this, when we collect the voltage across all the elements, we have these readings. So you can insert these reading and you can complete the report. So this is the experimental part. Now you will use these current values and these circuits to complete your report. Now I am going to show you how to use the multisim in order to solve this problem. So in order to use multisim, actually I hope the instructor already share you the link to use multisim. Yeah, you please take the screenshot of this. Did you get the link of multisim? A short video of multisim. How many of you? All of you, right? Yes. Now I believe all of you installed the multisim. If not, you need to do it during this section. Now what is my plan? I'm going to show you how to use the multisim. Okay, in order to use the multisim, I'm going to share you that screen. Okay, let me see how it will be working, because sometimes it will hang. I'll try my best. Okay, I'm using I will close this probably. Okay, one second. Okay, I believe now you are going to see the screen. Okay, I'm sharing a screen. Let me see how it is going to work. Share entire screen too. Okay, you can see my screen now. Yes. Now I'm just I already installed the multisim, so I'm just to write multisim. Multisim. Okay, when I enter the multisim, you can see my screen. I just log in. Probably you already know the things, right? When I log in, yeah, stay logged in. I think my password is they don't pick. From Friday, Saturday. Let's see if it works. We will see. Otherwise, you know, yeah, I think no problem. Yeah, now when I log in, I'm going to create a circuit. Up you can see. Just I create a circuit. Now initializing multisim. It is very simple, like a drag and drop. I will show you, then we will do the analysis. You also need to do it after me, okay? And I need to see your circuit, okay? Now look at this. I have this, place to work. So on the left side, you can see there is a resistor. I'm going to drag the resistor, okay? And if I wanted to change this resistor to, any desired value, I click here, and what is our first resistor? It is a 10 ohm. So I just put 10. Everybody understand? So this is 10 ohm. Now, if I want another resistor, I can bring down. What is the value I will click? I click here, then I click here. What is the value? Come on, tell me. It is, type everybody. Okay, 5 ohm. 5, I put 5. Next resistor, what? You look here, I'm doing. I'm coming to the left side. Okay, enough. I'm coming and dragging here. Then click here on the value. Then I type it is 20 ohm. Then I click here automatically. Then fine, right? Next what? So I bring all the 3 resistors here. Now I need 2 sources. Actually, this is the source one. You see sources, right? I click here, then it will show me all the possible sources. What source I want? I want a DC voltage of 5 and 3. So I click here, then I can bring it here. Okay, and if I rotate right, then my plus side, yeah, good. And it is already 5 voltage, very good. And I want another one. So click again the source, then the DC voltage. I bring little down because of here. Then I rotate. Then I click here. What is the value I'm going to fix it? I can type here 3. So I click here, then it's automatically 3 volt. Now everybody, I have the connections. Now what I need to do? Just to connect the wires. To connect the wires, you don't need to do anything. Very simple. You bring the cursor to the one of the side. You see, just I bring the cursor here. Then there is a pen type joining. You will see. Again, if you don't see it, do 2-3 times. You will see that. Okay. How? Bring it here, because sometimes this will be, yeah. See. Then click here. For me, I don't know, my mouse is not that much sensitive, but when you bring it here, you will see that. Okay, let me see. Okay, then I click that, then that click and hold the mouse key, then you bring it here, then you click there, it will be connected. If you wanted to make it little better to see, just to drag. Again, if I want to connect this to this, everybody know what I am doing? Yes. Click, finish. Again, now establish the connection like you are drawing with a pen. Like you are drawing with a, yeah. I understand that. It's you just to bring, sorry, you know how to do it? I will tell you once again. You bring the mouse here and click. Sorry, you bring the mouse here, then click. Then it will open the pen. Now you bring it, see, very simple. I am completing this. So everybody, we finish this. Is it the circuit we discussed? Check everything. Banat, boys, all of you. Yeah, now actually, if in this situation, even if you don't use the ground, it will work. Because this is, it's a special DC circuit and it is without even ground, it will work. I will show you that. Now, if you wanted to measure the voltage, here is the probe. We call probe or the sensor we have. So click here. Then what you want to measure? Voltage. So, and for your information, our voltage measurements are, you look here, very important point. You look here. In our circuit, all of you need to see that. Please listen this point very clearly, okay? In our circuit, this is because we arbitrarily fix the direction. That means this is the plus side, this is the minus side. So the probe plus should be here, the minus should be here. Then it's supposed to read the same magnitude that we fix. If it is positive, means whatever we fix is correct. So always keep the plus here. And for here, where you need to keep the plus, this, here minus. For here, where you need to keep the plus of the and here. Then our measurement is based on our equation. So this is the plus, this is the minus. This is the plus side, this is the minus side. And which direction current we are going to measure? This direction, this direction, this direction. I will show you now how I am going to. So everybody remember plus here, the rest all plus right side. Okay, look here. So this is my circuit, right? Just okay. I'm going to bring the probe. Okay, once again, I'm going to bring the probe. Then I know that this is the plus side, so I am clicking here. Then I need to bring the negative to the left side, so I am dragging this negative point here. Everybody understand? Now the voltage, this is the voltage. Yeah, the V will read the voltage when I run the. Okay, next one. When I do the next one, you will understand. Look at this again. I'm going to bring the voltage source here at R2. How? Click here, voltage source. I'm keeping the plus side here, then the negative side here. How I did? You understand? Then this voltage will be here. Next one I'm going to bring where the plus side, here the plus side, the negative side. I press and hold the negative side and bring here. Now the voltage will read here. If I run this, you see this on the top, run simulation, then the meter read the value. What are the values here? When I stop it, I can read the value. What is the value? The value is, the voltage V1 is 1.857, the voltage V2 is 0.142, and the voltage V3 is 3.14. Is this matching with our calculation? Where is our calculations? Where we did the calculation, everybody? Yes, it is very, very close with our theoretical calculation, right? It's here, right? Okay, now, yeah, you already have the values, right? I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. Now, everybody understand how to do it? So after you do it, insert the screenshot there. Now, if I wanted to measure the current, I can delete this probe. I mean, you can do together, but I don't want to do it together. I mean, I'm just going to delete this. Click here and delete the probe. What I am going to bring here for the clarity, you know, maybe you can do it all together, but I don't want that. Okay. I'm going to delete the probes. Okay. The plus probe and minus probe, all probes I'm removing. Now the circuit is as before. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring now the current sensor or current probe. Click here, the current. Which direction? Yes, this is the direction I1. Now I am going to bring another probe. Look here, which direction? Here the direction is down. And I'm going to bring another probe now here. But I need to change the, because this is this direction. How will I change? If I click here, if I double click here, there is an option here to flip the measurement. You see, once again, I flip, I flip, click here, then I flip the direction. You see, if I bring it here, maybe I can see this well. Once again, look at this. So this direction is fixed correctly. I'm going to bring the current sensor here. I click here. Now this direction is, I'm going to flip. So you look at the current directions, all I can see well now. This is this direction, this is leaving, this is leaving. Now I'm going to run it. Yeah, I mean, when I run this, this one is not reading, something is wrong. When I click here, I delete it. Once again, I will bring the sensor here, okay? Once again, I will bring the sensor here, okay? Yeah, now flip, then run. Okay, now everybody see this? Hello, all of you understand this current? Is this the current we calculated, all of you? But when we did the practical one in the lab, there are slight differences. Of course, there is, because the resistance that we choose is not exactly 10. It all depends, but almost very close values we get. All of you understand this? Now you know how to do the simulation. Is it clear, everybody? So now I am going to conclude. And while before I am concluding, I mean, if you want, I can help you with some questions there. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. There are few questions we ask to write VA minus VB in the lower loop and in the upper loop and all this, right? Okay, I will show you that too now. Then you will be able to make your report a better report to get full mark. Okay, look here, this is the screenshot I am sharing. Now I'm going to show you in the questions we ask you to do the upper loop, lower loop, and finish your report, right? But there is some question we are asking, what is VA minus VB? For your information, this is A, this is B. If you know that you are in the video, we clearly mentioned that if you travel from here to here, your voltage, your potential is changing, whether it is increasing or decreasing. And we showed you the rule to write this. Once again, I will write that rule. If you travel from here, imagine you are traveling through the upper branch. This is the upper branch. This is negative. This is positive. This is positive. This is negative. And you reach here, VB. So there is a rule. If you travel from VA to VB, we write always this. The starting point is VA. Now you reach here. This is we called E1. Is E1 is positive or negative? We are traveling from positive to negative. So plus E1, you are traveling from plus to minus. Minus V1, now you reach all the way where you reach that point, we will write equal to where you reach VB. Now you have an equation, VA plus E1 minus V1 is VB. Now what is VA minus V? Mathematically, you know that if you bring VB here, VA minus VB. That means you move E1 to the right and V1 to the right. So what is E1? Minus 5 plus what is V2? V2 is we already calculated, or we already get it from the experiment. It is 1.857. What you are getting? Minus 3.143. Is it? Volt. So VA minus VB you calculated from the upper loop. If I do the same thing from the bottom loop, the middle loop, you work. I'm going to show you if I travel through the bottom loop. Actually, I'm helping everything, but anyway, it's okay. Because for your, what is the direction of current? This is the direction of current. You know that. So this is plus, this is minus. So let me start VA. I'm traveling from VA to VB. I'm traveling this direction. I'm moving from negative to positive. If I move from negative to positive, it is gain. So VA plus V3, I reach VB equal to VB. So what is VA minus VB? Minus V3. What is V3? Our calculation, it was minus 3.1 something, right? You remember the previous value. So 1, 2 or 1, 3. Are they close or same? So you are going to find VA minus VB in from 3 loops. So this is what we did in the lab. Now I believe I finished everything that is required for the lab. So let me conclude you. Today I explained you how to make the one. I'm going to conclude you. Today I have a circuit, and this is the circuit we have encountered or we solved, and the circuit is this. And here you understand this voltage is 5, this is 3, this is 10 ohm, this is 5 ohm, this is 20 ohm. We fix the directions and we solved each current analytically, mathematically. And based on that current, by the known value of resistor, you calculated V1, V2, V3. So this is the analytical solution. After that, today I showed you the recordings that, yeah, this is the circuit we built. Then I share the readings that we collected from the lab, that I1, I2, I3 pictures that we collected in the lab, right? That means this one I share. I ask you to take the screenshot. So I1, I2, I3 and V1, V2, V3. For the analysis, you can use these values. But because the theoretical value and the value that we get from the simulation is going to be exactly the same. Is it? Look at this. They are exactly the same. So we will do for the analysis part, you are going to do the value that we collected in the lab. So this is the one you are going to use for the analysis. But at the same time, all the instructors are looking for your work, that you build this. You build this, right? This circuit that you build also you need to insert into the report in order to get the full credit. So now I conclude that those students, these 3 parts mainly we are looking for. One is the analytical solution. Second is the solution of the report with the given data, the given shared lab value, this value. Then the last one is the screenshot of your work from the multi-sim. So when you are going to submit the report, you need to include 1, 2, and 3 things. Then your report is going to be the best report. And write your understanding, conclusions to include those things you can include in the objective to get full credit. Believe me, if you do it from your heart, you will enjoy this work. And it is going to give you an added advantage of circuit analysis. That means you solve this problem 3 ways mathematically. That means analytically, plus experimentally, plus virtual simulation. I believe you could include all these, and according to the rule, every instructor is looking for your report today. Today means any time after the lab. So, I mean, I encourage everybody to make the report as early as possible and insert to your or submit to your Blackboard. Okay, and this your attendance and your time of presence, all I am going to share with your concerned instructors. Then they will look at your appearance, how long you were there, and all this. They do analysis. Then they will consider your presence. And anyway, it is up to you and your instructor. Now I'm done with the explanation. Is there any questions now? If you have, please ask. I'm ready to answer. I believe everybody understands this. All of you understand, Musna? All of you understand?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, how can we open the program you open it to make the circuit?
Yeah. This is multi-sim, and if you want, I can share you one of the video that one of our colleague, he produced a video, in order to use the other lab, but same procedures, for how to use the multi-sim, at least to get the how to use this. I will help you to I will share you the link so that you can just just watch this link. Then you will be able to okay, just a second. Yeah, this is the link I'm sharing, so you will be able to make that I mean, it will provide you how to use the multi-sim, how to not install, how to register, and a little idea you will get. Yeah. This is the, oh, sorry, I share it 2 times, but anyway, one more time. Yeah, this is the link. If you watch the link, it will, help you. And please, I mean, keep this into the positive perspective, just to do it. Don't think of your mark or the benefit of mark. Just to do this for learning the circuit analysis, or how to build a circuit, how to get the values, calculation and theoretical value to compare for your knowledge, do this. So I'm done. Everybody, thanks for joining my section. I believe it was clear, right? Now, I mean, you can submit your report to your concerned instructor, and that's all. And yeah, have a nice weekend to all of you. See you all. Masalama. Now, just a second. Don't go. 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, just 1 second. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. 1 second. I will say, because I'm going to take a screen recording. 1 second. Please don't go. Yeah. 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 Now you can leave, please. Okay, all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Masalama. Welcome, all of you. Welcome, Musna. Musna. Shama, thank you. All of you, thank you. Thank you. No worries, no worries. Sheikha, just to type, what is your section? 63 or what? 55. Okay, I will pass this message. Sheikha 55. Okay. Yeah.
Where can I see this record for this section?
This recording will be in my, here. Maybe I will share you the recordings to the concerned people. They will share to you. Okay. I think, through the link, you can still access this. If not, I will make it available through somehow. It will come to you. Don't worry. Okay. I will share with the instructor. Sorry, the coordinator. She will share with you. Okay. Sure. Sure. Thank you all. Bye. Ma salama.